I stream daily, almost daily on twitch.tv/canister_mtg, so be sure to visit that if you would like to catch some of my live content. Ay. On the draws, my Teferi not so good. Let's get Zagoth. Just seen that players missing and joined myself. Thank you. Gonna go Zagoth Fountain, trap the amulet. Maybe Boseiju the Saga instead of trapping amulet. Same thing, I guess, slightly better. So I guess in the immediate sense, I guarantee that I can make constructs, which constructs will be an issue. So just bind. Now we're gonna Teferi the Saga. Has to be. Teferi is gonna be dying, but such is life sometimes. Sometimes your Teferi dies. Solitude. Next time they play Saga, I have a turn to go Land Cycle, Shardless into Beans and be Gucci. It seems interesting to me they attacked face and not Teferi. Seems like Teferi is gonna cause issues for them down the line, possibly. Because this is turn 1. Okay, so this doesn't bounce this in time, but I mean still. Let's go Steam Vents. Shardless Agentos. White card is nice, also a way to remove Amuletti next turn. So I'll die if they have 2 normal lands and a Titan, I guess. But that's fine. Unfortunately, no white card for Solitude. Also, Xenovan, thank you for the sub. Was an OBM reprint. Valakut, okay. Guess they're gonna shoot the Teferi? No? Opponent really doesn't care about the Teferi, but Shouldn't I? Alright, I guess I go to 1. Isn't this supposed to be the bean killer? What's supposed to be the bean killer? Valakut? No, it's like Spike had a version of beans that didn't have outs to Valakut, and it was fairly bad against Valakut, yeah, but this is also Amulet Titan, so it's different. You can just kill the Dryad to prevent Valakut. I will die to another Dryad if I don't go for Shardless Agent. Let's go for a Shardless Agent. Should have plus Teferi if I did that. Force of Negotiation. Alright, now I'm sweating. Alright, chat, give me a white card. Why aren't we just solituding? Because then I think I'm do that to another Dryad. Alright, we got it. Still need to not die to whatever is in my opponent's hand, but we have a second Solitude, so actually Giga rewarded for my decision. And also if I just Solituded, then I don't know. But yeah, the true mistake was plastic Teferi and then casting Shardless. If I had Teferi in hand, I could guarantee at least picking up the binding to have a white card guaranteed. Even if that would be a bad line, it would still give me, you know, extra odds to win. Can I kill a Dryad in response to Valakut trigger? Will it check again on resolution if there is enough mountains? Yes. Definitely forcing that. I guess it's awkward if they play the One Ring, but not that awkward. I have 3 beans in play, so I should be taking infinite turns roughly soon, and you know, if they happen to have a second Dryad after that, it's just too awkward. Can get back Boseiju, which I think I'm largely unconcerned about for the most part. Xenowan, Gothulu, Steffi Weffy, 215 and Ravy the Turtle, thank you for the subs today. We're only 28 minutes into the stream and you really made my day. Omnatsky is good. Time Warp is good. Have I considered Dictate of Krufix in my taking turn stack? No. However, gone down to the river to think while staring into the middle distance and skipping stones. Does skipping stones means throwing them into the river? I haven't done that, but I have heard that successful people tend to take walks where they just walk and think without distractions. So yeah, I don't do that too much. Time Warp. Let's do the time warp again. Congratulations on top 8 of the Super League, thanks. It wasn't too hard yesterday as everyone else has decided to play a meme deck. Alright, let's cut Force of Negation but bring in Commandeer ×2. Cut Magmatic Sinkhole. Probably Supreme Verdict is fine to have, maybe one. Like, I guess it's blue for Commandeer 2. Time Warp in. Subtlety, Force of Vigor in. It's got Leyline Binding because of the Boseiju weakness. And add Ingot Chewer instead. And probably cut Fire Ice because it's fairly poor. For Omnath. Maybe not necessary, maybe a Commandeer instead. I'm weak to a resolved ring. I need to bounce it with Teferi and then Commandeer it. If I do it this way. Let's have 2 binding. Maybe 3 Omnath only. Alright, 61. 61 sounds good to me. Oh, I mean, we kinda don't do anything. Then we go turn 3 Shardless Agent, but then we have Subtlety. Alright, let's keep. Not many Shield Reds were cast, yeah. But I have to admit the Shield Red didn't seem trivial to cast either. In Doomwake's deck, and you know, the fact that they are essentially colorless for the purposes of pitching to anything. Okay, kind of a problem, right? Like, I don't know about that. Seems kind of fishy to me. I think the Shielders was a new development. Well, it was, yeah. I don't know, it was just for the Super League, but I would like to draw a Force of Vigor. I would no longer want to draw a Force of Vigor. Ooh, that's a good draw. The time warp again. How well do I think Transposition versus Beans and Scam right now? Would you play it in a small field over Amuletti? I think Amuletti and Scam and Tron are gonna be roughly similar. Versus those decks. With the ball being mostly in the court for those decks and deciding how many Blood Moons in Scam and how many answers to either ramp deck people play. Oh shit. Resolves. Maybe I should have. I mean, Commandeer is just so funny against the One Ring though. Force of Negation is kinda less funny. Maybe shouldn't have Verdicts. Need to get to 5 mana and time warp again and then we're gonna be fine. Alright, the Teferi for the next turn to bounce the Saga. But we can't hit the One Ring, Onion Ring. Just Scam with Druid. Why is Scam with Druid, I think, chat? What's the deal with Scam with Druid? After Merktide with Druid, it's time for Scam with Druid? That is downright crazy. Probably want to keep Subtlety. Mykosintos. Amuletos. Would I cast Force of Vigor if I draw Force of Vigor green card right now? I guess, then I can... It's slightly beneficial. Because then I copy and I get to Teferi bounce the amulet. Just 4-1 with Titan by watching your YouTube. Seemed right to raid you. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Enduro. No, I need to clench and survive a little bit, I guess. Jeszcze jedna. Jeszcze jedna. Probably bounce. I don't know if I bounce Saga or the amulet. Probably Saga. So removes 1 mana from them. Powabnie. Jak Michael Jackson, jeśli by umiał dancehall. Keeping this to block because, you know, I don't necessarily die, but double amulet is a little bit rough. But we have subtlety and Murderous Cut if one subtlety hits the graveyard, so not non-zero chance to get to my turn and fight time warp, and then maybe if we draw Force of Vigor on the amulets we can stabilize. Other money. Leyline Binding is probably actually good to play, you just need not to bind Titans and then just bind amulets and rings, yeah. It's probably a better approach than boarding Leyline Binding out. Because also play on the draw when your opponent plays turn 1 amulet, you get to play something. Something good. 6 mana. No nie mogę nie subletować, nie? How do you think the Questing Druid Scam matchup is with this deck? Probably fine. Wait, it's a green card in Scam, right? That's so bad. Doesn't pitch to either thing. Doesn't pitch to Fury, doesn't pitch to Grief. Doesn't work particularly well with anything. So now we have Murderous Cut available too, if we fetch Godless Shrine. Titan on top. So, a Raugrin Triome. Opponent cleans up. We go this. Attack. Time Warp. And then we draw a Leyline Binding. That's nice. I think I bind an amulet. Over binding the onion ring. Can draw sorcery speed cards. They might have Boseiju, but I might draw sorcery speed cards like Time Warp. Or I guess Omnath. Have I seen the Tarask deck? Yes. For better or worse. I guess maybe we should exile this and then bounce this with the Teferi since we got the Time Warp. No, Teferi can bounce the binding, I guess, then. It's not, I mean, it's not great, actually, because they get to copy it anyways. Maybe I should bounce ring. Or play Lrien. Oh, that seems good enough though. I'm going to fetch Godless Shrine, bounce layer and take out Amulet. That leaves them with an Amulet in play, so my Teferi did nothing. I guess it drew me cards. Bounce the ring, I guess. Then I play the other Teferi, bounce this too. And I keep with 2 Murderous Cuts. Meow. Guess we can still draw a Time Warp right now if I do it this way. But yeah, it would have turned out better if this was in my opponent's hand and this under binding, I guess, but we interact as hard as we can. Despite the misstep, I guess. Commandeer is probably pretty bad against Amulet. Just can seal the ring, but that's only it. You can seal Explore. Or a Pact. And that's just so narrow. While forcing an Amulet is a better play. Force of Negation and Amulet is viable on turn 1. Commandeering it isn't quieted and it's worse, so probably bad to have any commandeers against Amulet. I was just thinking of the match I had against Mason Clark in the Super League a week ago where he commandeered my ring and I felt sad about that. Okay, they didn't copy the Amulet, so that's fine. 4 to you. Or maybe just Leyline Binding is better to answer the ring. Even if Boseiju's, like, answering ring is fine. Fine-ish. With binding, even if they get to free it. Just never bind a Titan and that's fine. Alright, hopefully I don't die. I might die to Colossus, but there was no Colossus last turn, so should be no different. Well, it's gonna be a bit rough. I could Murderous Cut my Shardless Agent to look for Subtlety. I don't think I need to Subtlety a Titan, I need to Subtlety a Colossus, so we can let a Titan resolve. Because if it makes mana, the mana is to cast the Colossus still, right? Low, 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 low. So there's 1 Subtlety in my deck, I could reshuffle. I have 27 cards, 3 beans, not gonna draw into the second Subtlety. But I need some advice from your chat. This artwork Subtlety. Where is the head? Where is anything? Is this a bird-like head and a beak? This is a hand reaching and other hand reaching from the other side. Kinda pouncing. Do I read this correctly? Is this an eye? Is this a huge beak that's open from the bottom, or is it just a small beak like this? I don't know. I think small beak. This is the ass. That what you're saying is crazy. Well, that's 5 minutes, by the way. And I thought I was the slower one. I was in a club when that song was new, and this one guy was dancing while somehow most of his body was only a few inches off to the ground, but still unable to move the floor fully. Was nutty. Was nutty. Damn. Hello, Mr. Streamer. How do you feel about playing Fury in this deck, or there not a lot of Yawgmoth online to warrant it? There is a decent amount of Yawgmoth online. Fury is decent against Yawgmoth, but it's also, like, not really anything to... Like, I don't think Fury substantially changes the matchup. Because you still kind of lose the same way when you, like, are forced to pitch before you establish card advantage. And they get Yawgmoth all the same, and they get to draw cards with that, and Fury is not really, like, particularly good against the Undying creatures, nor is it particularly good against Yawgmoth itself. So I don't buy into Fury is so good against Yawgmoth. Like, it's not bad. It's like probably an upside bet to have it, but it's not that big of a deal. And my deck just doesn't support Fury, and I prefer to support Force of Negation than to support a Fury, because Force of Negation, I think, is useful against a much more broad section of the metagame, which is, you know, like 40% of it or something, and not just a tiny little bit. Did they play land already? They did play Seeming Grove Chamber, yeah. A good Grazer. Is there any reason to use the Murderous Cut on the Colossus during its first trigger? Little reason to do that. So yeah, like, since if I had Fury in my deck, like, then I wouldn't... I prefer a deck that, you know, has access to counter magic and support Commandeer against Tron, and can Time Warp combo against decks, because I just find it really useful to have Time Warp against a deck like this. Like, it created immense advantage in this game, for example. So yeah, I'm not playing Fury in this exact version, but... Do you treat your groin like junk, or do you trim the public area? It's a good question. Copy Amulet? Fine. So I can't play lands anymore. I think Fury is pretty strong against Folklore Mirrors, Red, Black, and Yogg, which I think is a good representative of the format. Okay. So I've been thinking that it's not the case, but maybe I'm wrong. But I've been only really liking Fury against... Rather, I prefer... Like, I much prefer Time Warp to Fury against Folklore Mirrors. It's like miles better, I think. Snowshin Thief, a decent card versus Bean. With all the removal drawing as well, feel like it would do work. Well, it's like Shouldered. Very similar to Shouldered, actually. Sounds fine. Not groundbreaking. Still 4 mana, like creature that dies to removal. Outrun my gun. Remember when unfair deck just killed you instead of interacting forever? Who's the unfair deck? I guess I'll pass because they have protection anyways. Like if you play Fury, your deck is all removal and it's also removal with blind spots. If I play like this, I have a cohesive deck that's a control combo deck, which I really enjoyed, I guess. That's how I would put it. Zeus a lost but sucking, sure. Time Warp is amazing in this deck, ... I agree, ... Draw 7. Mine. Wait, I have 2 commandeers? That is crazy. WTF is Cancer gonna deck? Is he an idiot for using that commandeer? He can't cast spells anymore. Until your next turn, so you don't have protection from everything anymore. That would be kinda spooky if we did, actually. That'd be kinda funny to have protection from everything and then just kinda die because of that. So they're betting wall behind you. Yeah. Could have Teferi, Azusa and lethal them, no. Well, can I do that still or not? Op is dead, right? Yes, Chad, I'll just kill them. Does my line win? I sure think it does. Okay, Coffers is a matchup that... Coffers is a deck that looks so unplayable, yet it is not so bad. That I don't know what to think of it. I don't think I played against Coffers with this deck. Yet. Could you put more in dark mode? I don't think it exists. And many people say that they don't like the Coffers matchup with Beans or whatnot, which is fair. For the Super League, I acknowledged very good draw.
He's a phenomenal
I sort of acknowledged Coffers by adding a 4th basic to my main and a mounted to my sideboard versus Demolition Field, and then once they don't have the Demolition Field angle, they really shouldn't have game against you, but... Wooloo the Sheep, thank you very much for a tier 1 sub. How come they took my Force of Negation? I guess they gonna scam me? Makes sense. Now they can take a card and cast it with the Voidwalker. Okay. Cards revealed. 4 time warps. Bro, there's just 1 time warp in my hand, please. Come on. Time walk or ancestral recall, that is so true. Let's fetch sorcery speed because Blood Moon doesn't exist. But yeah, certainly against Coffers, if you play Force of Negation and not Fury, that you're gonna be glad you did that. So can cast Time Warp next turn, which is like Lrien Revealed but for 0 mana. With Up the Beanstalks. Provided they don't deploy a discard spell or Orcish Bowmasters. Both of which, well, either of which is likely. I mean, I guess Bowmasters they can deploy, it's fine. I've not played with Elder Deep Fiend, I have assumed it's a giant meme, but I'm fairly dismissive of tech like that. Boomaster. No już kurwa wiedziałem, że masz, już nie musisz tak udawać, że nie miałeś. Jakiś kurwa cwany, no super. Ej, 2 to przesada. It's a little bit of a no out situation. Let's cut the cards that lose me the game when I draw them against Scam. And instead add cards that contribute towards victory when I draw them. Why second basic island the sideboard is to have more basics against Field of Ruins decks. Dawaj kurwa tą furię, frajerze. Why is there milk in meatloaf? Is there milk in meatloaf? King of top land. Now I would want to sinkhole the Fury. But it's 8 life. Why is it called meatloaf and not milk loaf? Then. Maybe there's more meat than there is milk. Perhaps. Because it keeps the meatloaf tender and moisturized. Took my... That's pretty weird. I'm surprised. That pieces fit. I know that pieces fit. What deck did Canister play in the Super League? This one. I said just Doomwake coffers. What? Lol. They can't me a removal spell when like they had this? I know that pieces fit, cause I've seen the she-aldred. Oh, I take 2 life, lost, no. Oh no. The Phyrexian oil is seeping through my wounds. Not anymore. Does anyone know why Questing Druid suddenly shot up in price? It's because everyone that chats feels the need to post a message about Questing Druid and asks why it has shot up in price, which causes people to check the price and then buy them. It's just a cascading effect. Some good old market manipulation, yeah. I hate those one-landers. Why do you have to tempt me, Magic Online? And it's not even necessarily great if I draw a land, so let's go to 6 and let's keep this, I guess. I play Grief. Wow, no Grief? Good Grief. Well, hoping for no Bowmeister on 10-2 then, because that's also matches up decently against my beans. And this swamp fetch is a bit sus. Do I side the island just against the 8 field decks? Yes. No planes, unfortunately. No e-girls of the north for me, but we can fetch an island with Lrien. Then we can play Agent to beans. That's gonna draw the planes. Assuming they moon, like maybe they want moon. Maybe they'll just play Fable and then die. Lol. Okay, we drew Boseiju. Who endures? Let's fetch the island still. I don't need black right now. I have mining on this turn. Portuguese rap question mark. Very good question. Chat, sometimes you're playing a scam and they do this and they just never play a card on turn 1, 2, 3. Will they play a card on turn 4? Pitching a Thoughtseize. That's so odd. Sure, take one. I could bind it in response, not interested in doing that. I have 3 removals anyways, if they combat trick. Unfortunately, I can't sinkhole it right now, but... What if they suddenly materialize a Bowmaster? Is it an issue? A little bit? Not too much. If they don't, then it's great. And they didn't have Bowmasters in earlier, so they won't have it either now. Shouldred. I expected you to play Shouldred. Bit of misstoppage. Well, I didn't know that I'm gonna draw, but a little bit, yeah. Don't really want to pitch Omnath. Very stream meta. Let's pitch Omnath. Giga punished. So it's gonna be a bit stressful against a Joldrath. If I tapped this forest, and I would have this, fetch plains, play Shardless Agent, draw another card, and then have one extra card with Terminate. Okay. It's gonna be followed up by Dashagaban at least. Okay, at least something for my opponent. Oh no, not the subtlety. Oh, come on. So I could die to an extra drawing effect. But Ragavan Terminate was their best play, so they don't have that right now. It's very safe. Is it okay, draw? Every time we touch, I wish I could fly. Fury. Bounce Fury. Well, I guess the game is still going on because many land cards have come under my control. Another Fury, that's pretty lucky for me. It means I have many excellent top decks. Let's draw a fetch land though. Wow. Is this game 3 or is it game 2? It's game 3, right? So it's pretty lame. But we hit so many with 4 beans. Just played beans again. Opponent cast Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Jace is fine. Like having a way to win once you draw your deck is just reasonable deck building. Having no way to win once you build your deck is extremely unreasonable. Why couldn't you be there, right? Why couldn't it be like this? Be so much simpler. Be this, draw 4, play Omnath, gain 7. Be at 11 with Teferi in hand. Can't lose. Teferi in play even, not even in hand. No, in hand. That's so good. Let's put back Murderous Cut. I don't know what my opponent's playing, so just need to put back random card anyways. That person was just heavy breathing because they are attracted to Seedborn Muse. Do you heavy breathe when you're attracted? Is the worst card you've read, really? Steerings. Is that Scaleless? No, that's Throne. Bros, what is the deal with this, like, neutron approaches where it's just accepted to lead on forest steerings and it's fine, and people just do that and they're not ashamed of doing that. They are just, yeah, that's how we play Tron now. Actually, Javier Dominguez played Tron like that at Pro Tour Barcelona and he almost top 8'd. I don't know who he was playing against, but he wouldn't have to play that against me. No, you don't get it. You actually play Talisman of Resiliency on turn 2, and that's how you leave your opponent with no outs. You guarantee a 4-drop through Tron Disruption on turn 3. Just don't get it, Canister, that's why you're bad and I'm good. Alright, let's see that 4-drop guaranteed or whatnot. Oblivion Stone. See, no Tron. Godless Shrine. Tron has remained tier 2 to 3 through all metas. True. Let's draw a Time Warp quickly enough and we can win. Against Tron. It's a bad matchup game 1, but post-board is probably just good. Deal 7/7, but I need to only cast Endurance this turn. Can play Teferi, Bounce Binding, Replay Binding instead. Is drawing a Time Warp a more realistic way to win? Probably. Do I think Pioneer Luca is biased as a creature? Are you a modern streamer now? I'm a modern streamer. It's fine. Also, Force of Negation on that map actually changing the outcome of the game, which, you know, just saying, wouldn't have been done if I had Fury in that spot instead. I also lost a game where against Scam where my hand had 2 Force of Negations. The opening hand, so I guess that was pretty bad too, but oh shit, it's Tron. Resolves. We're grabbing Sundering Titan. The Stone Brain. Okay. Okay. Name Time Warp. It's gonna be harder, but I can live with that. They named Time Warp, obviously. You are iced. I float free. Kurwa, no na chuj floatujesz free w tronie, no już nie udawaj. Kurwa, z Teferim na stole, nie? Pajac. Chłop mi będzie manę floatował. How am I stocking those beans? Stocking the beans? Yeah, I guess. You have the rings there. That is unfortunate, but I guess you do. Right, so might lose this game actually, because now with no time warps and having Tron, it's a so-called problematic. It's a so-called problematic situation. Probably shuffle a Force of Negation to my deck. No już, no, dobra, dobrałeś. Już. Jest gicik. Wszystko poprawnie grasz. Poprawnie grasz, fajnie robisz. Can draw Boseiju. So maybe I'll upkeep Lrien Revealed. Better sorcery speed though. Can draw Fire Ice. Boseiju. Trust the floater of Teferi, okay. Mana has been floated. Will my opponent insta-complete Tron? Possibly. Nobody must know about this chat. If we get to attack, we deal raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, 7 damage. 2 from the ring, 9, and then fire. Would need to find a second fire, but you know, it's doable. Or maybe set up Omnath's Fetchland Strike. But, you know, they will probably play something at 7 cards in hand, so just thinking what I'm gonna do. Too bad I couldn't deal 4 damage with Shardless Agents and Magmatic Sinkhole the card node. They have Boseiju. Boseiju free O-Stone, play O-Stone. That'll be rough times. Okay, they done Boseiju on this turn. Yeah, Brian. Attack with all creatures. Probably bounce, endurance. Omnathos to set up fetch. Steam Vents in my graveyard. Can draw Force of Negation, that would be the best. And my heart is broken in two. So I have 2 forces in my deck. And I can access many cards. Boseiju, who endures. So I guess they don't even want to end step Boseiju because they are weak to binding then. So because of double fire, I'm also not using Fire Ice right now. I have 2 Shocklands. Right, so I pitch Omnathos. Probably should pitch Teferi. Magmatically Sinkhole this. And wouldn't stay. I'm so for Lrien. I found a Force of Negation. So I'll proceed to Force of Negation this. One ring. I think. Endurance in my hand, right? Zeal and Ardor, lol. Yeah, it's a funny band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only forest left in my deck from fetchables. Still, Omnath kill is possible on the next turn. I guess it's always possible. Well, yeah. Well, it is possible I can shuffle back Steam Vents. Can you pitch a blue land for Force of Negation? Lands are colorless. So the answer is yes, but this is not a blue card. This is not a blue land. 10 manas. The Ceaseless Hungeros. Hitting my fetch landos. Yeah, sure. Guess I can fetch a forest. Is it beneficial though? Might be. There's 2 more Fire Ices in my deck, and they also die to the One Ring, honestly. Just don't Solitude the Ulamogos. You are fired. I only have 1 red source in play. You are fired. Alright, we won game 1 against Tron. Or was it Tron? When they didn't Tron for the first however many turns, huh? Vigor, I think Vigor is really bad. Rather, it doesn't offer anything that is particularly good. It's 3 copies of Fire Ice. 1 of them is with the Izzet artwork, and 2 of them are with the I'm really cold Barbarian artwork. Probably mulligan this. Can't pitch Commandeer, so a bit too bad. Probably keep this, I guess. I'd rather keep a Time Warp in my deck than pitch it. Chromatic Star. No, niezły stary. Keep? Would you keep the fast hand? I don't think it was good. The Ceaseless Hunger has been found. My deck is a bit weak versus Ulamog. My Tron solutions are a bit weak versus Ulamog. I mean, I can just tank it and like get 2 things exiled and move on. That's the plan. But a turn 4-1 would certainly just win. So if they cast a map, I will Force of Negotiate it. No weź, kurwa, ja pierdolę. Cholego, kumplu. Yeah, commandeer this. Kolego. They just play Tower Ulamog, that's gonna be outrageous. 9 mana. Maybe we'll miss a land drop. I mean, we can tank the Ulamog. With this in play, we can tank the Ulamog. Provided we draw a land to bind it. Ideally before it hits me for 20 cards. 2 Ulamogs might be rough, but 1 Ulamog is gonna be fine. Land. Okay, well, fine. I'll attack you down to 28. They don't have a second Eldrazi throughout the game. We gonna just commandeer the next play and honestly the most troublesome card I could play right now, a Wormcoil Engine, I guess. Might grab, okay, Urza's Saga, that's a bit rough too. They just play Saga and they don't play anything. Land. Thanks. Guess they can fire the stone now. Maybe I should pitch, destroy it, I don't know. Was there an incentive to commandeer the stone? Maybe incentive, yeah. There is an incentive to commandeer that though. Mine. Could probably pitch a second commandeer over Agent because I for sure will not commandeer 2 more times in this game. You wouldn't be so sure? Well, now I'm sure. Cursed Totem was certainly an option. That is odd not to make a construct, but... How did Super League go? I qualified to the top 8 of the Super Giga League. You are fired. I played with this, Time Warp Beans, and everyone else played a meme deck, so I had the advantage on that front, and I beat Spike with one funny deck, and then another funny deck was played by Doomwake. Then Caleb played a funny deck too, but I didn't get to play against him. Yeah, I had to dodge second Ulapog, and that's it. How do I think Amulet T-Titan feels today? It's fine, but the beans are stronger. Haywire Might. Fair. Yo, Kani, thanks for signing my Living Ends in Sofia. You're welcome. How they play a new ring? At some point. Let's bind the construct because it will be an issue. Am I attending? Ooh, Prague? No, I don't will go to. Ooh. 2 sagas. Crazy shit, bro. Can prevent a construct by upkeep tapping it. Nice to meet you. Seven mana. Said Carno, the Liberated variety. 8 mana. Error. Non-creature card, error. Leyline Binding can deal with it though. We can use the Power Stone to Island Cycle. That is crazy. Boseiju is still present in their deck, so they have a pretty powerful tool available, unfortunately. Here it comes. Well, problemos. Let's go with Godless Shrine then. Maybe they will play the ring pre-combat. I understand. Ocean Man. This is actually kind of OP against me. Not anymore, okay. Ocean Man. They have Ulamog and Raveler. Oh no, they tapped my Power Stone. Then maybe I should have an extra Solitude against them. Could have drawn Sundere Titan. Then I would saddle it. Would for sure work. How are they not stream sniping you? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do. But I mean, sometimes people just don't. Saddle the long-term solution, exactly. How are they not stream sniping you? Endurance as a 3-mana flash creature seems fine in this matchup. I disagree. I'm not winning by pressuring them, I'm winning with time warps. And by performing actions like commandeering the rings and drawing cards. I want to kick ass and chew ass. And I'm all out of ass. Sylvan's crying. Lol, 2 Urza's Mines. I mean, I've never seen a Tron player not playing anything before a turn 5 Ulamog. I mean... So you mean their play? Yeah, sure. I think it... well, it made sense. I mean, sometimes your hand looks like that, or you... like, also... you can be aware that those cards exist in the deck without stream sniping, right? They might have been aware that my deck might contain the cards Urza's Saga and similar. Not Urza's Saga, you know, Force of Vigor, Negation, whatnot. I fetch Urza's Tower. Okay, I Boseiju your power plant. Haha, I play ring anyways, because my deck is so good. You got me, brother. I steer. Honestly, worst case for me right now would be like play Haywire Might. I guess play Star, crack it for green, play Tower, play Might, eat the Up the Beanstalk. The Onion Ring has entered the revealed card zone, okay. Have I considered a second career in voice acting? Actually, yes. exactly boom button, that's why you Boseiju in the draw step. Assuming that them drawing a basic is good for me, I would like for them to draw a basic, and that's why. I want to cycle the Chewer. It kinda stinks now, so maybe. You are iced! Canister is secretly doing the arena voice lines. I wish. Contribute my voice to the works of Magic the Gatherings. That would be crazy. 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 Allah. Crazy. Crazy. Na 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 na. 2 manas. What are we deploying? Why just snub exile? The relic can be actually pretty decent against the time warps, but random mana generation moves. So I have under 5 minutes. I need to hurry up. You are iced. Got a Marvel advert Poggies. Why is that Poggies? I have 10 mana now, which could be Ulamog. Weź spierdalaj no, z tym zjebem. Kurwa, z paszczą paskudną, Ulamogiem. Dobra. Fasolki usunięte. Fasolki wszystkich smaków Bertiego Bomba. Nie ma sprawy. Plus... możemy Raugrina fetchować. Tylko weźmiemy Sacred Foundry otapowane. Tu tam fasolarza damy. Pięć. Random mana tapping. Fasolarz. You are iced. Oh yeah, play expensive stuff. What? Not a second Ulamog though. What the fuck? Exciting the beans. Do I have more beans in my deck? No. Sześć. Oh, it's shadowed yet. put an Ulamog on top of their deck, that is a crazy move. Kurwa, I tapped in a way where I can't play the guy. Do I have another fetchable? I don't think I do. Let's check. No. Right off. No Time Warps in my deck currently. Bros, please skip the song. Fuck me, Luke, fuck me in the barn. Probably gonna time out, unfortunately, but I think we got it mostly. Well, maybe we don't. Actually, because they had 6. No, I think we win, if not through timeout, but I don't think I win in 40 seconds, unfortunately. Even with no beans, with all beans getting hit by the Ceaseless Hunger. They need to Ulamog the creatures. Yeah, I know, and they will. Is the issue. You have 7 cards in hand. I don't know if you actually win the long game. Well, the game is not that long. It's just I need to deal a few damages. And I answer, you know, the non-Ulamog cards they play. And then I don't know, maybe. When was the last time the clock defeated you? Well, not too long ago. It happens every now and then, especially when I double queue. This much, though, my deck just kinda is a bit slower than my opponent's. It's also possible that subtletying the Ulamog was a bad move. Because I could not subtlety it and then Teferi it instead. Also, if I hadn't mistapped, this would have been in play for 2 more damage. So mine would be at 4, which would also be useful. 1 Fire Ice left in the deck, 0, but Endurance left in the deck. I guess it's gonna be hard to draw through the entire deck. Fetcha, no dobra. Fetcha is weird. Spend drain the clock to try to catch you talking a bathroom break? Yeah. What's that, a walking ballista? A weź kurwa, kolego. That's unethical to play walking ballista here. I hold up Hardcast Commandeer. Just, you know, 13 seconds. Boseiju, Who Endures. 8 mana Raveler. A little bit too many creatures. Alright, we time out. So I'm not 100% that I would be able to manage this, but I think likely. Opponent sided out all non-creatures. Yeah, common tactic to side out all non-creatures in the Karn Great Creator deck. 2 damage mattered. Yeah, I guess against 2 damage I win. Like if I deal the 2 damage, if I don't miss up and I deal 2 extra damage, then I go. Solitude EOT, then bounce this and win. So yeah, we would have managed. This hand is not very good, so let's keep it. Misty Rainforest pass could be literally anything. It's probably a Beans Mirror. My hand is not very good against the Beans deck, so... 1-2 bracket and a Beans Mirror. Name a more iconic duo. I wanted to force this. Why didn't I force this? Good question. The plan was to force this all along, but I let this resolve, and that's actually probably game losing. Can't cast Omnath with my mana. I'm gonna get Boseiju. That is devastating. If they had one fewer beans would be so good for me, but they don't. Brother. Wait, no beans. Play Lrien player. Oh, they revealed beans, so they just didn't cast them. They play Fury, so Dead Gun. Wow, what a deck. Seems like a 1-2 bracket build. Why didn't they cast the beans? Maybe they're just afraid of overdrawing, but... Bro, so I had literally zero downtime this prelim, which is great for the stream, but also I wanted to brush my teeth between rounds 1 and 2, and I never had the time. We should be in the 3-0 bracket, so this match doesn't really count. Fair. Fair, yeah, that's... Preach, brother, preach. This time we cast the beans. Hello, Mr. Streamer, how are you? No, I'm well. Siemaneczko. Bubble. Binding your beanstalk. Or not. Binding your beanstalk in Minecraft. Once in my lifetime I had a guest over and prepared really insane fasolka po brytańsku. Yeah. So they have no more beans? Let's bounce it then. For so-called tempo. Could bounce my own Shardless Agentos to access second beans. Better against Fury, but... I had Fasola s parówkami for breakfast today. That sounds horrible. But also quite okay. Fasola z parówami. I play Fury. I deal 4 damage to your cards. Fury is so good, please. Restrict card in modern. Papieża Polaka. I fetched a basic on one turn. That was unnecessary, I think. Time Warp found. I cast Fury. They run Fury over Fire Ice. They just play slightly different deck. So, I mean, you could say that they run X over Y, but also you could say that they run Fury. They don't have Force of Negation Time Warp, it seems. Papieża Polaka. Deck needs Nexus of Fate. Deck doesn't need Nexus of Fate, brothers. Well, maybe my opponent's version does need some stuff like that, but I think it pretty distinctly doesn't need Nexus of Fate, actually. Meow. 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 No more binding for you. Deck needs 2x season pass to avoid decking Catch-All-Edge. I have 69 IQ, by the way. What does Catch-All-Edge even mean? So I have Temple Garden and Godless Shrine in my deck. I think it's best to play top land. Bułeczka. Guess I could Boseiju, the Leyline Binding. Time Warp revealed. There was. Oh, I can play the 4th bean. Let's bounce their bean. Force of Negation, awesome. Let's cut Fury. Let's bind Up the Beanstalk. And since we have the Teferi protection, let's Enduro. Then we can discard. We can keep the fetch land because we shuffled a. No, I have one Godless Shrine in my deck. Alright, I'll find a fetch land. Let's go discard fetch land Omnath. Blue card for Omnath. Blue card for Omnath here. White card for Solitude. What do you think of the Bean list playing one Jace Wielder of Mysteries? I think playing one Jace is better than not playing any Wincon at all. I think time warps are a bit more realistic than. I mean, whatever, I guess. We can draw. Because time warp, like, it's pretty good to cast early too. So, like, I cast them like turn 5 with a Bean out, and it's already like awesome. And if it leads, if it doesn't lead to winning, just it still leads to having a great advantage and it being quite easy to set up the infinite time warps. So I just like that. Like, I have no reason to cut the time warps, I feel like, because they work great for me. And turn to Jace, and Jace more distinctly like, it's gonna work if you have the beans too, but it's a worse draw otherwise, I think. How do you go infinite? Well, you technically can go infinite. You don't go truly infinite. You just attack 5 times with your Omnath, so it's infinite enough. But you just time warp and then you shuffle your time warps back with endurance, and there's like a full loop that goes time warp, discard in the cleanup, endurance yourself, and endurance yourself, and then do something else with. Then Murderous Cut your endurance. So like I think that's actually infinite, but I'm not sure if that truly works out with the cards, because you need to draw and discard them in the cleanup, so you have to have a certain amount of cards in your deck, but that would be the infinite. But for the most part, it's just finite, but you know, you just draw, just take 5 turns in a row, and that's good enough to win too. Well, yeah, that's the thing you're doing, also, but also, like, you need to, if every single one of your cards draws 4, then does that work? Would discontinuity make sense too? Well, the main thing with the time warp is that I'm casting it multiple times, so I don't want discontinuity that exiles itself, and that actually just doesn't really work right in the same way. You are fired! I don't know, like, I think here, like, with my opponent having Furies and me having the time warps, I was like, once a game reach the mid game, do nothing, stalemate. My opponent was like 2% to win. Just like me having some like absolute heinous series of draws. So I think it gives me pretty huge advantage over somebody playing Furies, so I like that aspect. I missed Fury in the mirror when I played against the Bloodbraid Elf builds, where sometimes they go Shardless Agent on turn 3 and then Bloodbraid on turn 4. That was actually significant enough pressure that you need to deal with it, so that was a little bit not great, but what are the must play cards in the Beans shell? I don't think I want Salty. Well, I don't know. So, well, you probably will always play Leyline Binding with Up the Beanstalk. Doesn't make sense without it. And I guess besides that, I don't know. There is must plays. I'm probably gonna Mool. This looks better. I don't think Time Warp in my hand does much. Actually, it kind of does. If I go, hopefully they don't play Teferi. If they do, I will just lose, but if I go Agent into Time Warp, that's awesome. I play Beans. They did play Ardent Playa, so maybe they play Playa over Teferi, which I think is a horrible choice, but Cat demands full toilet attention. I'm giving her attention. Which decks did we lose to? I did not lose to decks, I just got horribly unfortunate. Just kinda cap, but I guess also not cap. Solid move, pitch Solitude. Not even playing a Leyline Binding, I guess just tries to draw a land to horribly unfortunate, aka not tapping mana correctly. Yeah, but that's because I had little time, because I was unfortunate. Bułka, nie gryź mnie. Commandeer, okay. Command Bean. Let's keep the real Beanstalk in my hand in case of the Teferi. What are my favorite type of beans? Baked beans. Czy nie wiebie? What a song. Is that a type of beans? Yeah. I guess. Yeah, it is. It is. How come they don't have a play for turn 3? They pitched Teferi to an Omnath to Commandeer. That does make sense. Commandeer is such a meme card, but it's also so funny at times. Time Warp can be Commandeer too, I guess, but not really dangerous in this scenario. Wow, my hand is trash. And the damage from the Shardless Agent adds up. Alright, let's cast my 0 mana divination. Czy nie wiebie? No kurwa, breeding pool, nice. Enduro, terrible. I mean, I guess the damage. Why was this emote ever created? It was because of the I took the walk to Poland song. I don't really want to spend my endurance. I only play one endurance, so drawing it kinda means that if I want to keep the angle in my deck, I have to never play it. Ardent Player. They're probably gonna easily contain my creatures, so I'll just keep my endurance. This is the only deck where you wish 4 cost 5. I mean, getting them to 4. Missing land drops. They pitch Solitude, it was worthless. How do they have so many cards? It's from Up the Beanstalk. Maybe I should have flashed the Endurance. Probably should have. Yeah, I guess this game... I probably don't have the luxury of planning for this game to go super long. How it turned out for my opponent. Well, I guess maybe that changes now. Up the Beanstalk to Leyline Binding. Alright, I guess we're gaming. What if damage instead cause your opponents to draw cards and players lose when their library is milled? And like Endurance, Emrakul, they don't exist. Shoulder just goes infinite, that would be crazy. Probably some of the card designs would need to have been changed. That is crazy. They have more Force of Vigors and they're pulling my leg. If so, my leg has been pulled so hard. Keep pulling, friends. Seems like it, yeah. Yeah, that's probably bad to do. Because if they pass with 3 cards, it was kinda quite possible that they're gonna have that. Also, I was listening to that. I don't know, they're at 4 life. I still keep fighting over their card advantage because I don't trust them to stay at 4 life properly. Meow. Alright, Endurance. Now I'm no longer holding you. It is your time to shine and to attack my opponent directly. Okay, so wins the game. All we had to do was summon a 3/4. Probably if we summoned it earlier, they would have just died. Maybe I should just board the second one to be able to spend the first one freely. Just in general. So yeah, we 2-2'd the Prelim, but effectively 4-0'd. It's a great score. It's a great score, my buddies. There's a Pioneer Prelim in 15 minutes, so should we join?